Hi everyone, welcome to the Tuesday's edition of Shagalinku TV. It's a pleasure to be with you all again after we were here on Saturday last week to talk about digital tools. We had our guests all the way from the United States of America as they advised us on what to do when we're online and other things we need to improve on when it comes to digital tools. For this Tuesday, we'll be looking at something very important. A lot of times we get betrayed by our friends, our colleagues, business partners, sadly, even family. So, how do you handle betrayal? What do you do when you put in so much trust, money, time, emotions, and all that into something or into people and businesses? And then maybe the other partner just decides to become too smart and then wants to double cross you. Today, we'll be having two guests, just like Saturday. I have Itoro Jimmy. She's a journalist, a sports analyst as well, a human rights activist, all the way from Portharcout, River State. And also joining me will be Nweke Prince, a youth activist from Nsukka. Together, we'll be rubbing minds on this issue. The comment section is there. We're streaming live on three destinations: YouTube, Facebook, and the other one. So the two YouTube accounts is at Chagalinko TV, and on Facebook too at Chagalinko TV. You could also view this from my personal page, and that's Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari. So drop your comments on the comment section. It will be popping up here, and we'll read them as the program progresses. For those of you who would like to send a text message, the number is also scrolling on the screen now, and it's +234-8054383460. It's scrolling on the screen so you can join. But let me start by saying a big shout out to everyone in Lagos. We're streaming live from Lagos, all the way from Ajao Estate, and big shout outs to Elegant V, to Nancy, to Divine, to what's his name? To Justino, yeah. And where's my small friend? Where's my small friend's name? Ifani. There's another name we call him Ogbuefi. His name is Odogu. So together we are here, and guess what? I'm sitting right on the floor in the couch here, on the floor in the parlor, just doing the local thing in Lagos. Anyway, thanks to everyone who's made our trip in Lagos a success. But let me bring in my guest. I know she's been waiting. Hi, Itoro.
Doing.
How are you? How are you doing? It's raining in
Oh no.
Lagos.
Oh.
Is that a way to
Man,
welcome us?
honestly, I mean, you can see I'm actually using a rechargeable lamp right now to illuminate. I hope, but I
It's
mean, the show
well.
must go. The show must go on. No, the show must go.
Exactly.
We
Sure.
don't have a choice. Yeah. So, good afternoon, everyone. Emmanuel, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. It's nice
It's
to
a
be here.
pleasure. Same here. So welcome. I'm sure you heard when we opened up the show, we're looking at betrayal. And even when the flyers came out, a lot of people were like, why did you choose to do this topic? And it's New Year. I know the first quarter is just winding up, but we also
Yeah.
need to begin to let people know that 2021 isn't a year to start doing our Mumu never do. And that was why particularly we had to bring you to talk about it. So tell us what you thought about the program when the flyer came out.
Well, honestly, I said to myself, betrayal. Oh my goodness.
Mm.
Betrayal. I mean, is there anybody that hasn't been betrayed? So if I
Sure.
mean, even for a 2 year old, a 3 year old, they've actually gone through betrayal. So I said to myself, wow, this is a very interesting topic. And it's time we talk about things like this and stop shying away from it because so many people have, gone ahead to be the person they wouldn't want to be because they've been betrayed one way or
Yeah.
another. So it was really, yeah, it was really intriguing when I saw the flyer and I saw the topic betrayal. I mean, you look at the society we live in, and you find young people telling you, oh, I don't want to do business with him, or I would rather do business with somebody from my place and not work with somebody from his tribe because they are thieves, they are tricksters, they are this. And you ask yourself, why would young people, think this way? It is only because they passed through this phase called betrayal. So it was really intriguing for me, and I'm really, really happy to be part of this. Hello, Emmanuel, are you there?
I can hear you. Just go on.
Oh, okay, okay. So I lost
Yeah.
you there for a minute. Yeah, I lost you there for a minute.
Oh, sorry
So I'm
about that.
saying,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm saying that you find out that lots of people um, have taken to, rejection because of
Mm,
one form of betrayal or another. I mean, even with
yeah.
kids, for instance, and this is because betrayal itself, damages confidence. It's
Yeah.
it's a kind of shock that takes time to heal. It's very traumatic, and it is, in a way, it has affected our everyday lives. And it's really, really
Right. Yeah.
important that we talk about issues that surround these things. I mean, even little kids, like I
Mm,
said earlier, go through some form of betrayal one way or another.
mm. Okay, I know we'll take it bit by bit, and I'm happy
Yeah.
you took that angle from the mother-child perspective. So let's even
Yeah.
start with business partners. What happens when people come together to do businesses? Of course, I know people won't be partners with people who they aren't friends with. So it
Of
starts with
course, of
people
course.
you've known for a while, people you got introduced to, and all that, and then you both feel, or a group of people feel they can do business together, and then one it just takes one person, one bad egg to spoil the rest. One becomes too overzealous or too overambitious, and then he or she wants to double cross, and then problem comes. So what do you let's even start from the business angle of betrayal. What should people begin to guide against before we even go to relationship, and then to money betrayal and others?
Yeah, in business, of course, you can't even, like you said, you can't go into business with someone you don't trust. Okay. Um, there's this story a friend told me some time ago, and it's in this line of business. So, um, this guy travels and gives himself an opportunity, to trust his friend. Yeah, of course, he already trusts his friend. So, they were in the business together, and he says, okay, you know what? I have to make this trip. So, you have to, watch the business for this amount of time till I get back. And to his surprise, when he got back, his friend has sold his house property, and even got a tenant to stay in his apartment, and he moved out. And when the friend came in, you can imagine the shock. So he started calling him, and he's not taking his call. I mean, for somebody like that, you ask yourself, how do I pick myself up from this? Do I even want to go into business again? I mean, money is gone, trust is broken, friendship is broken. You've lost, let's say, over 10 years of friendship, trust and investment. This hinders a whole lot of things. One, this guy will not trust easily. It has damaged so many things. So you find out that he recedes, he doesn't talk to people that easily, he doesn't open up. His choice of business, kind of like gets affected because to him, he would rather deal with a total stranger than deal with someone he knows. You understand? So when things like that happen, you ask yourself, do I still want to be in business? Because truly, you have to be friends, have some certain level of trust before you become partners with anybody. You understand? So with this happening, the person needs to, to be able to heal, the person needs to take a break, take a breather. You evaluate situations from the outside in. You don't just jump into any other relationship and say to yourself, oh, this is going to work better. This is going to be much better. Everyone is not the same. Don't forget we're all humans. So there's bound to be mistakes. There's bound to be some form of defect, one way or the other. This other person might betray you, but not as much as the other person did. So in order for you not to fall victim, constantly, you need to hold yourself back. You understand? Then look at the choices you make. You need to decide, do I go on with this or should I do it this way? And learn to move gradually, because already once it is broken, it is broken. Hiding away would not solve anything. You can't say, oh, because my business partner, cheated me, I'm not going to be a businessman anymore. No way. Of course, you have to go on, but you have to take your time by being first open minded. Learn to be able to see people for who they are, because truth, honestly, people show you who they are by the little things they do.
Okay, thank you so much, Itoro. I, I'm still
Yeah.
trying to get Nweke Prince all the way from Nsukka. Maybe his network is
Okay.
holding him back. So congrats, Itoro, for making it. The network has been terrible.
Honestly,
Even me,
I
I've
should
been
be
scared.
jumping there. You need to have heard that lightning. I was scared at some point. Coming in, I was feeling somehow. I know, kind of, oh my goodness. Oh, network, don't mess up today. Oh, no, 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 don't do this. So 3 minutes before coming on, it was that crazy. It was fun. But I'm glad we're able to, make it. So
Yeah,
congratulations to
because even
you.
honestly, when I came into, I was asking them what network is stronger, and they said it's the one that I didn't recharge, and I'm like, God, just help me today. Let me do this.
I can only imagine.
Okay.
I can only
I
imagine.
got some
Oh my
messages, so
goodness.
let me quickly read them, then you can respond. This one is from
Okay.
Thompson. He says, I'm watching you also from Ajawo. I'd like your guests to tell us what people can do when their love life is being betrayed. A lot of times, people just feel it is only um, women that go through heartbreaks, but we find issues where men see girls through school, they come out and they say they don't want to get married to the guy again. What will your guest say to this?
Wow. Relationship. Relationship. This is
It's like they
where,
think you are an expert. This is where you have
honestly,
PhD.
oh my gosh. Relationships, like I said, betrayal, there can be no betrayal without any form of relationship, like I said earlier. So whether it be between friends, family, siblings, spouses, there has to be a relationship before there's a betrayal. So for Thompson's question, truly, it's not only women that go through any form of betrayal, right? And like I said, in the business aspect, you also, it's just like saying a lady who gets probably who was dumped, or yeah, who was dumped, says to herself, ah, all men are wicked, all men are the same, I'm not getting married, I'll never settle down because of this. It's the same thing with, with the man. You can't blame every other woman for one person's mistake. Every human being is unique. There must be something that is very, very valuable in that person that will make you want to start a relationship with the person in the first place. The fact that the first person did not, pull through in your contract, the contract, doesn't mean that the other person coming is going to do the same thing. So, for instance, for a lady who was gotten dumped, let's say she was left at the altar, and she says to her parents, I'm not getting married again. I'm not going to do this. You find out that one, she builds a wall around her heart, right? And every man that comes, she sees the person as a potential threat. I don't want
Threat,
you in my
yeah.
life. Yeah, so this person is going to do the same thing the other person did, and she starts even judging the person before she gets to know the person. It happens the same
Mm,
thing with the man. You don't have to judge a woman, without knowing her, without giving her a chance, to prove to you who she really is. You don't have to see her through the eyes of the person that hurt you. So, like I said earlier, you have to look from outside in, right? Learn, take it step by step. Yeah, there are things you want to do. You want to express yourself, but learn to be slow about it. Try to take it one step at a time. Don't say because the other person did not make it work, I need to rush. I need to do this. Why? Because of societal pressure. Don't do it. Don't do it. Sometimes when a guy puts a girl through school and the friends have been saying, oh, don't do that, or she's going to leave you, or she'll follow another man and all that, and you go ahead to do it, and eventually that girl dumps you. I know
yeah.
human beings,
It's
friends, they will
terrible,
taunt
yeah.
you. They will taunt you. They would say things. I
Say,
mean,
we told
among
you,
your
we told you.
yeah, or things like that. So, I mean, things like that would make the man not be able to speak among his peers. And once a man's ego is bruised, it takes a lot to bring it back to normal
True.
thing. So you understand? So I mean, he has to, try and take things easy, one step at a time. Don't judge the next lady that comes into your life with the same measurements, the same rules, you know, that
Mm,
you actually had with the other lady. It's not fair. It's not fair on both of you because already you are hurting. I tell people when there's a breach of trust, yeah, when there's betrayal, you give
okay.
yourself time to
Okay.
heal. Give yourself time to heal, right? You need to give
Yeah.
yourself time to
Not
heal
to
because if
rush
you don't
in.
heal, yeah, if you don't heal, if you don't forgive yourself, because you need to forgive yourself to be able to forgive the person who betrayed you. Then before you're able to,
Yeah.
go ahead with going into any other relationship, any other partnership, contract of any sort. You need to learn to forgive yourself
Mm,
because one, you are vulnerable at that point.
yeah.
Anything that comes in, if you're not careful, you lose more, you get hurt more. You bring in lots of damage on yourself and on the other
Yeah.
person. You understand? You're bringing it, so it kind of like you want to use the other person as a rebound, and it is not fair
Mm,
on both of you.
yeah.
You need to heal. You need to heal first. Allow yourself to heal well enough, then forgive yourself, forgive the other person
Mm.
before you can move on.
Okay. I got this message here, and it's from Tony in Worry. It says, "Nice program you have there. I like to say also for people to avoid betrayal, they have to always sign a legal document before they do any business dealings. What do you think about that?"
Yes, signing legal documents. Yes, very, very important. It's not wrong to go through the legal, include the legal process in the business you do. But sometimes you need to understand that this business we're talking about sometimes is a very small business. Say, for instance, pure water business, or somebody is coming to coming to you to be a supplier or a distributor, and you tell the person come and sign a contract. Most of the time, bear in mind that some businesses happen in areas where people don't really understand English, or probably not well educated. So what do you tell them? You get a representative to sit down, draft a letter, they sign it. Then when there's a problem, they tell you, I didn't sign it, I didn't do it, I didn't do it myself. But ultimately, yes, it's good to approach, have the legal approach in businesses and all that. But the best thing, I believe, is for you to be able to you know have some form of witnesses. Yes, I know you want to say legal backing and all that, but this time around, it doesn't involve so much money and all that. You get witnesses from family. I mean, with that, when the person is doing going contrary to what you have agreed on, then you have somebody to fall back on. I mean, take for instance, if you're going to get a job, they tell you bring your guarantor, right? So there's somebody that vouches for you to say, oh, okay, this person can do this. This person is trustworthy, and things like that. So it's sometimes it's way easier to go through those processes. I mean, in the lower aspect, but legally, yes, I agree with you. I agree with you a lot. It has to be the legal aspect cannot be ruled
Aspect.
out.
Yeah, thank you very much. In case you just joined us, this is the Tuesday's edition of Shagalinko TV, and I'm having my guest, Itoro Jimmy. She's a sports journalist, an analyst, and also a human rights activist from Portharcout, River State. And we're looking at betrayal. How do we handle betrayal? You could drop your comments on the comment section and we'll read them, or you can also drop them via the SMS +234-8054383460. Okay, Toro, let's come back to the relationship thing. I know someone just sent a message to ask about how people should feel or behave or react when they get jilted. But what should people also look out for? Because it's about trust. No one goes into relationship feeling that,
Without trust.
like sometimes when I talk in, yes, sometimes when I speak in public places, I say nobody gets married today and say, you know what, in 6 months' time or in 3 months' time, we're going to get the divorced.
Divorce, yeah.
Things just happen, life just happens, and then you just find yourselves that, okay, I think we're better off when we're separated, or I think we're better off when we go our ways. So, but what should people start doing differently to safeguard them from being betrayed? Because one thing is to be betrayed, another is also to be proactive enough to open up your eyes and see when the red flags are just signaling. A lot of times people get that red flags, but they like, it no matter if it change. Maybe not be waiting at they think. So what are the red flags people should be looking out for, whether in relationship, whether in businesses or otherwise, when it comes to betrayal?
Yeah, like you mentioned, red flags. I mean, these flags are always there for one to see. You know, for relationships, I mean, there are lots and lots and lots of them. Now, for someone that tells lies, it is obvious for you to see that they tell lies. If you're somebody that cannot tolerate little white lies, already when there's so much, little bit of lie today, a little bit of lie tomorrow, it starts creating some form of conflict, right? That's one. And then you look at also the aspect of say um, neatness for some people, you know, um, ability to communicate, because for people to get betrayed most times, you find out that communication is always a huge problem. Lots of people go into relationships these days without, um, you know, giving each other the opportunity to know each other so well. So you don't just go into a relationship, say love relationship, say for you don't just fall in love for the sake of falling in love. Some people are just there to, love the idea of being in love, not because they really love the person. You understand me? So you look at issues and you ask yourself, why would people get married today and then they divorce tomorrow? You won't tell me that the person didn't notice that there were instances where his or her partner was lying, right? Or probably cheating, or probably being assaulted, either verbally or physically. These things are always there for you to see. They're always there. You don't go into a relationship and think that you can change anybody. So people should have it at the back of their mind that you can't change anybody. The moment you begin to see things that you can't resonate with, you pull out. You can't fix anybody. Everyone is an adult. So don't forget that whatever you find someone doing, at this age of their life, is something they've had with them for years. It's not something they just picked up. So it's going to be really hard to force that person to let go. Yes, because they love you, they might say, "Oh, okay, I'll get out of it. I'm going to try my best to do this." But it gets to a point that you realize that they're only trying to fix themselves for you. They're not trying to fix themselves for them. And once that happens, there's always going to be divorce. There's always going to be betrayal. There's always going to be, some conflict somewhere. You understand me? So people should look out for things that really they can't stand. Don't live in denial. Stop denying it. If he beats you or if she beats you, you know that, oh, okay, someday this guy is going to get up and beat me up. You don't
Yeah,
just
he
sweep
might do
it
it
under the
again.
carpet. Yeah. So you don't have to sweep it under the carpet and say, oh, okay, it was just one time. The person will do it again. You understand? So you look at incidents where someone will tell you, no, I don't think that he's violent. I think I'm the one that misbehaved. Why? Because they've conditioned themselves to say, oh, okay, this person is going to change tomorrow, or this person is going to do this tomorrow. No way. Nobody is going to change for you. It is very difficult to do that. Like you said earlier, it's no one goes into a marriage and tell themselves, "Oh, we'll get divorced in 3 weeks, 1 month, 6 months, or 2 or 5 years down the line." It's some things that probably you've seen and you probably thought it wasn't important enough. But for people to avoid getting into things like this, you pay attention to details. Always look at things thoroughly, no matter how insignificant it is. No matter how much. I mean, take for instance, you don't like your toothpaste. I mean, this is between couples. You don't like your toothpaste pressed from the middle, right? And your partner presses it from the middle, and you like pressing it from the bottom up. Things like that, as simple as that, causes some form of conflict, really. Okay, you're someone who likes to take your bath 2 or 3 times a day. And because you're doing that, you expect your partner to take, his or her bath 2 or 3 times a day, and they are not used to it. And by the time you start, telling the person, I mean, you need to take a bath, it will get to a point the person will tell you, "Am I smelling?" Why? Because they're not used to it, and they feel you're trying to condition them to be like you. It's okay for you to be different, but you need to look at the things that make the other person important. You understand? Pick the things that make this person unique. If you know you can deal with it, then fine. If you know you can't in the long run, then why force yourself into it? Why tell yourself, "Oh, okay, let's go ahead with it. I think when we get married, the person is going to change." It's like somebody that is cheating on you. Oh, you see the person cheat and you say, "Oh, okay, he's going to change, maybe when we get married, maybe because I'm not really close." What makes you think that he or she is not going to bring some other man or woman into your matrimonial home? So these are things that people need to be honest with themselves about. Lots of people fall victim because they ignore the little things that are there for them to see. And you can only avoid heartbreaks, you can only avoid conflict in relationships when you are open enough to understand that people make mistakes and that people are different. So if it's not going to work for me, then stay out of it. It's that simple.
Okay, I really have so many questions I'd like to
Oh
ask you,
wow.
but then I'm scared of the the internet. I'm scared of this rainy weather, but I know we'll do a part two. But
Oh wow.
let's wrap up with this question. Um, People at times misjudge, or should I say, assume that if you forgive someone and you don't want a repeat of that, it means you entirely didn't forgive the person. But a lot of people feel their way of cushioning the effects of betrayal is to get hot ones and not give a second chance. Not that they've not forgiven, but they try to build a world around them. So, would you say when people forgive and they don't forget, it's as a result of previous betrayal?
Yes. Why? Because like I said, earlier, that betrayal conditions your way of life with time. If someone betrays you, say for instance, we're talking about in business, if you had invested in a business with say 5 million or 50 million, and someone betrays you, before you invest such money in the business again, you would think and look for other avenues, right? So that it doesn't get to a point where you say, oh, once bitten, twice shy, right? So you become extra careful. Now, this is always very hard, especially for somebody that you've known for a very long time, someone you trust so much. It becomes harder that way. So for someone that says, I've forgiven you, but I can't forget. That not forgetting is the condition they place their mind, into. Like before they do anything, they tell themselves, oh, no. There's this little voice in their head that says, be careful. You know what happened the other time. If you do this, you understand. So things like that. So they start conditioning themselves. Before you know it becomes a lifestyle. They don't allow people come in that easily, and everybody that comes close becomes a suspect. Before you say Jack, they're like, so a lady will tell you, well, I don't have time. Oh. Any man that comes to me now is either telling me we are doing this, or if it's marriage, it tells me it's marriage. If it's telling me it's just friendship, it's telling me it's friendship. I'm like, you start from somewhere. The fact that somebody has hurt you, yes, you have to forgive. But I understand you can't forget because you've been hurt. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't give yourself an opportunity to be happy. Another thing I will also say is that part of the reason why they don't allow people come really close is because they try to protect their mental health. Because that is one thing that people really don't take too seriously these days. Mental health is very, very key.
Yeah.
By the time you look around you, you find that lots of people are reacting in a certain kind of way because they've not allowed themselves to heal, like I said.
Heal. Yeah.
But if you do that, if you heal and forgive yourself, forgiving yourself means you've tried to condition, you've tried to, you know, allow yourself breathe, see things in another perspective, look at the situations surrounding the incident, look at what happened, what conditioned that decision, what conditioned what happened to you. And then you ask yourself, okay, what if I was in his or her shoes? Would I have reacted in a certain way? Ask yourself those questions and then sit back and say, oh, okay, I think it is best for me to move like this way. So, honestly speaking, it is a way of protecting your mental health. It is not because you've not forgiven that person. It is, you understand, it's a way of protecting your mental health, not because you've not forgiven that person. The walls built
Yeah.
is basically to,
To safeguard
try
for future
to
occurrence.
safeguard. Yes, not because you hate that person, not at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because I decided to ask you that because a lot of people always judge people with that you truly didn't forgive. That's why you still they call it grudge, but they don't know the person has forgiven and moved on. So that was why it was very important for me to have stated that. Okay, so we are
Yeah.
wrapping up now. I need you in 1 minute to tell us your final word of advice to people so they don't also fall into betrayal. Because as we are talking, there might be others who are falling into betrayal right now and be dropping suicide notes that
Don't
we
let
can't
me.
take it
Honestly, that
anymore.
no, 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 no. That has been really been so scary that these days, I mean, in a week you find that one person has committed suicide. Especially from the angle of the parents. Parents, loved ones, friends. Before before you make certain statements, before you make certain decisions, you have to realize that people are very delicate. The mind is like a sponge. It absorbs a lot. Take for instance, a case where a childbed wets. right? And the friends don't know that he or she does that. And the friends come to the house to play, and the mother comes out to say, "Oh, it's time for you to come in, come inside, come inside." And the child keeps playing. I mean, he's only a child. So the child keeps playing, and the mother keeps screaming, "I said, come inside is enough. You need to come in." And this child keeps playing, and the mother goes ahead and says, "Oh, you are there playing now. If it's at night for you to wake up to go pee, you won't do that. You only know how to bed wet." Wow. I mean, that alone has destroyed something that would take you
Yeah.
years to fix. That alone destroys that child's confidence.
And
It is
demoralizes him.
and demoralizes him or her. I mean, you don't know what damage you've done to that child. You find out that
True.
children are more comfortable talking to their friends, you know, rather than talking to their parents because they feel the parents don't understand them. They only use things to taunt them. When you have a close friend, a spouse, you're supposed to run to them for that comfort that you can't get from outside. People are taunting you from outside. You have to run back home. Like there's another in my place that says, when people are hurting you outside, the safest place to go back to is the house. So when a child leaves the house and believes that he or she is more comfortable outside, is a problem, because whatever they're going through, you don't know. So people should be able to be patient enough, be kind enough to allow people, you know the opportunity to express themselves, give them the opportunity to be who they are. There's nothing wrong in airing your own opinion, but don't push it down their throats. Learn to understand that people are different. Learn to understand that people have different values and different beliefs, so you don't get disappointed. In a relationship, it's a give and take, whether it's between father and mother, husband and wife, between siblings, between business partners. It is give and take, and once it is bridged, it becomes a big problem. If you're the reason why somebody will not want to do business with your brother, your sister, your cousin tomorrow, it is not a good thing. And that's because you built a bad reputation for yourself by being by not being honest and transparent enough in your own activities. So learn to always be open-minded. Don't judge people before you get to know them. Don't ignore the little signs, because whatever, no matter how little it is, there's something about somebody out there that it is always not that's always noticeable about them. So if it's something that you feel doesn't resonate with you, then pull out. Just stay away. That would help you protect your mental health better. Learn to meditate.
Yeah.
I meditate a lot. Learn to meditate. Meditation is
Mm.
good. People don't know that. You need to walk with your mind every day. Meditation is very good. Learn to meditate. You understand? Before you speak, like they always say, before you speak, count to 10. Or when you're
Think
angry,
twice.
count, yeah, count to 100 or something, so that you calm down before. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you do that. I do that a lot. So, and it has really helped
Mm.
me. It has really helped me. And I believe if we're more objective about the way we pass judgments, we are more objective about the way we perceive other persons around us, we'll do
Yeah.
better. We'll do much better, really.
Okay. So in wrapping up, who would you like to send your greetings to in the next 30 seconds? Who organizations or people who have been supportive in your career, in your job, and all you do? Yeah.
Oh wow, there are a whole lot. Where do I start from? So I'll send my greetings to Mr. Ira Nakimo. He gave me the opportunity to start. I mean, in my career, I mean, without him, I don't know where I would have been. My siblings have been very, very supportive. Daniel, my boy, he's been very, very supportive. I mean, if there's anybody I can run to, it's him. And then a whole lot of my friends, my colleague, Kinsley Momo, he's been really, really great. And um, a whole lot of them, and Bath as well. I mean, a whole lot of them. My colleagues at work, they've always been supportive. I love all of you. I love you guys. Mwah. Thank you. And if I didn't mention your name, I'm so sorry. I mean, the list is endless. I mean, for everybody that has been part of this lady's life, I really do appreciate you at one point or the other. I really do appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
Um, Thank you so much, Itoro, for being here as our guest. We truly appreciate. Well, that's the size of the program today, the Tuesday's edition of Shagalinku TV. And like I told you, we're streaming live from Lagos State, Ajawa State to be precise. And thanks so much for the great group, the great family that gave us this beautiful. You can see the set is different today, beautiful background, and they've been spoiling us with food since we came. Oh, by the way, thank you all too. It's been amazing since we gotten into Lagos. It's been really amazing. So once again, I'd like to start my thanks from Elegant V and to Nancy, to Justino, to Divine, to we call him Furu, aka Friday, and Annie. Yeah, sorry, Annie. I heard you were in Kano, but you're back to Lagos. So I hope to see you soon before I leave Lagos. And to everyone who joined us, everyone who joined, who sent in messages. The network is a bit bad today. It rained here, or it's still raining in Lagos, and that's why we can't get as many messages as we can. And that's why we also just decided to shorten it a little so we don't get hooked up along the way. But it's been amazing having you all here. On Saturday, we'll be talking with Asia from Italy. We'll be looking at why the older generation find it so hard to mentor and give opportunities to the younger ones. Our guest will be coming from Italy. Her name is Asia, and she'll be talking with us a couple of things why young people also need to take up their spaces when it comes to the next level. Once again, my name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari, and thank you all for joining us. Till I see you all on Saturday. We're still streaming from Lagos, and thanks to the award I was given. I think we'll celebrate that on Saturday, on the Saturday's edition. I can't find where I kept that award now, but I'll bring it out on Saturday. So we'll celebrate that award. It's for all of us and for all the children. So we'll do all that when we come on Saturday. So have a beautiful Tuesday and take care of yourselves. Bye bye.